Hi all, right, welcome back to more Labyrinth. Playing the extended campaign, so this is part 30. Okay, I've just come back after copying part 29 across, just putting it together now. So I've drawn my hand. So quickly, remember we've only got 7 cards because our funding, our troops are in the overstretch. So I ended up with 4 jihadist cards and 3 US cards. Nothing really jumping out. This says play of troops in civil war. I noticed that the text that we're using now for the playable condition is, I would say, I don't know, it's not grey like it was before, so I think it's going to be even harder to see on the camera. It's slightly bigger text, maybe, with a slight bold. Yeah, I think it's sort of darker than it was rather than grey, but anyway, I mean, it does say play if, it always says play if this condition is there, so this is play if troops in a civil war or regime change country. Well, we've got troops in both a regime change country, so that's playable. It's going to shift alignment 1 box towards adversary, not good. Select posture for 1 unmarked non-Schengen country. Well, it's going to select the posture opposite from the US, isn't it? Because it tells you that. Because that just says select posture. So that, I mean, if I do play that, it tells you in the rules that if you have to do that, you're going to pick the opposite from the US to make it worse for them. And then, we're not allowed to select the US with that, but fair enough. And then -1 to prestige. Well, prestige is at 1 at the moment anyway. So yeah, I don't really want that to play. But however, Pirates is not playable. Play of Somalia or Yemen is poor an adversary or Islamist rule. Well, Somalia is poor neutral, and so is Yemen, poor neutral. I mean, this is close to be going Islamist rule, so it might be a card we want to get out of our hand this turn, just to be able to use it for the 2 ops. MPT safeguards ignored. Play if Iran has a cell. Iran does not have a cell, so these 2 cards are not playable. So that could be your play for the turn, maybe, but I mean, they're both 2 ops. I've got 1 3 ops card there that's playable, but I do have 2 US cards that are 3 ops. So moving along, I think this is playable. Bloody Thursday, blocks Pearl Roundabout. Remove 1 awakened marker in any country. There is only 1 awakened marker out there, so it would be able to be played and do that. Facebook is not playable. Play if smartphones in effect. I don't have smartphones in my hand. I would assume it's a US card, so unless I carry it over to my next turn, it's not going to be usable. Place awakened marker up to 3 countries that already have awakened marker and are adjacent to that country. Well, I've only got 1 out there anyway. Right. So yeah, that's going to be a 3 ops. Limited deployment. Play if US hard, where we are now. Place 2 troops from the track and an aid marker, which we can do. Unfortunately, it's in a country in civil war, even if not allied. Place an awakening marker in an adjacent country. So sounds pretty good. But we would need a country at civil war, so probably 3 ops again, but might try and hold on to that as the turn goes on, just in case. And Reaper is only 1 ops. Remove up to 2 cells in any 1 Muslim country, or randomly discard 1 card from the jihadist hand. I mean, that's just, I thought, is there an instruction for that? But no, if we randomly discard a card for his hand, we just take the 1 off the top and discard it, and that's that. So, playable. Okay. So, they 2, I'll leave them like that. Kind of want to play them. The thing is, am I not going to be needing 3 ops? And this is where the problem could lie. I mean, you could just do 1 operation by put something into reserves, but I feel like I'm on the clock and need to keep moving. Because, there's only 4 countries out there that are fair, and 1 that's good. I mean, the good countries got nothing in it. The 2 fair countries down there, 3 fair countries have got nothing in it. And then this one's got an awakening marker in it. just talking about what I can do with 2 ops cards. Yes, I could do War of Ideas to try and make them, but I don't think we need to be trying to chase to win the game as such. And also, by the way, I have said that I'm still going to stick by my guns and try and play with that optional rule. So if I happen to get to, what is it, Irwin condition, 12 good resources? Yeah, if I happen to get to 12 good resources, I'm going to just say that chalks me up 1 point. And I know we've not got the ability to get 3 points, we can only get 2, but it's just to play the game out. You know, I want to keep playing it. I'm enjoying it, so. Okay, so yeah, and the other thing we've got to keep in mind is 2 plots are just about to go off once we've played our second card. So what we don't really want to do is do something that's going to gain us prestige. Probably don't want to do anything to improve this governance. Not really probably any point in trying to mess with their funding. They're the 3 things, aren't they? Who do we? I should keep them up there. Things in a tizzy here. Right. Unblocked plots, museum country. Yeah, funding, prestige. And then governance. Yeah, so there's no point trying to do things like that with them. Now, well, what we could do is, this is 3 ops, so we could try a War of Ideas into here. We got 3 troops still on the track. Okay, what about trying to get? Shouldn't we just I'm not saying forget about Somalia, but just leave it for now and try to get a regime change complete? It looks like Egypt might be the best place to do that, but I've already just said I don't want to improve its governance right now, so that's not good then, because that's what we would be doing, wouldn't we? If I do a War of Ideas in Egypt right now, well, you could do one in Central Asia, Grant. It does have a busy regime marker up there as well. That would cost us 3 ops, so this is a problem. Everything's going to cost me 3 ops. I mean, do I just right now just go? Hey, now hold on. Oh man, yeah, I know what you're saying to me. Have a look down in the bottom left hand corner here, Grant, and see what you're now thinking about War of Ideas attempts. This is -1. This is -2. So you've got a -3 before you can consider this possible one from being adjacent ally good. Oh dear. This is really hard. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, admittedly, that first playthrough I had, I didn't feel like I was having things as tough as this, so things must have been going much better. This is really hard. Any great events I can play then? Because War of Ideas is not a good idea right now. Well, shouldn't you try to be setting some of the countries hard? Or shouldn't you be going back to soft? Oh man, this is rough. Well, I suppose if I got one soft country to hard, that would take me back to no penalty here, wouldn't it? So maybe that's, and then I've still got the -1 for this, but I mean, I can't mess with this just now, not when there's 2 plots there. so... Okay, so... Thailand, Philippines... The fact that the Philippines has that Abu Sayyaf... Points to sale in the Philippines, Abu Sayyaf, an event, you just made the point there. -1 prestige for each plot placed... unless troops outnumber cells. I don't think it really matters if I try and put it. Well, do I want 2 ops or do I want 1? I've got that Reaper card, which isn't too bad. I've got these 2 unplayable jihadist cards. Maybe I should just try with them. In particular, I probably want to do the pirates one first. Well, remember, you need a 5 or a 6 on this roll, but I think I've got to try something. What other things could you try? I mean, I could. No, I can't put troops. I can't put troops into Somalia until it becomes an ally, and that requires a War of Ideas roll, which is not going to happen right now. Yeah, War of Ideas is not an option. It's not an option for me right now. So I mean, I don't want to reassess again. I think I'm probably better staying hard, just working on my regime changes, but that requires a War of Ideas roll that's not -3. Alert, I mean, you could alert the ports. No, that's pointless. Disrupt. No, I can't disrupt in Iraq or Somalia. And I can't deploy troops to Somalia or Iraq for that matter. Yeah, we've got limited things that we could do. Okay, I'm going to try... Yeah, I'm as well using a 2 ops card. So I'm going to play Pirates. Now, it's play if Somalia or Yemen is poor an adversary or Islamist rule. Somalia and Yemen are both poor neutral, so this is unplayable. So I'm playing this for the 2 ops. And I'm going to do a war... no, that's not affected. That's not affected. Right, okay. Yeah, I did, when I first went and done this, I thought, is this affected by this? But it's not. It's 2 different things, just called the same thing, which I sort of feel like they could have done it better. Maybe just me. Probably just me. Right, okay, so I'm going to do a War of Ideas in a non-US, non-Muslim country. Well, I just don't know about the relevance of Philippines. Why don't you do... Well, I think Russia's all out of the equation now, isn't it? I'm not sure it has any relevance now. Yeah, because even when you look at the flow chart, Russia is tagged with the base game symbol when it from a priority point of view, so... Well, let's do the Philippines, since this event is still in play. So I'm going to try and change the Philippines to hard. So we need, it's a posture roll. So a 1 to 4, it'll stay soft. 5 or 6 is what we're looking for. There we go. Let's start on a high. Ooh, well. Good. Okay, so Philippines goes hard. Now, yeah. Well, I forgot I was getting a boost to my prestige if that happened. Because the US is hard, we got a boost to our prestige, but that wasn't really the purpose. The purpose is to get this, you know what I mean? Because this is just going away again, shortly. So So that now should mean that this goes here. I'm just going to switch that to hard, just so that it doesn't matter what it is, it's right in the middle. So that should be the case. It should be balanced out even. I'm just going to have a double check. I'm probably not getting everything on the map and the camera there, but you can trust me, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Soft. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hard. Right, I must be missing a soft then. Or it could be even better. Did I count this one? 1, 2, 3. No, I didn't. 4, 5, 6. So 6 soft. And then hard, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so 6 and 6 is 0. So we've not got the Global War and Terror Relations penalty. For the moment, anyway. Okay, that's our first card play. I mean, technically, I suppose I could do that again, but... So, right now we got a War of Ideas, we got a -1 because of this. Is our prestige... Yeah, because there's troops, yeah. Yeah. It's -1 when there's troops, or down to 1 if it's a WMD. But I'd be quite happy to see 2 WMDs there, and that'd be that. But so what else can I do? I mean, I could do that again somewhere else, but it's not going to help my prestige. But if I'd done it on another country that was soft and we got a result, I'd be up to 2 hard. Or what about event? We've got, well, I say Facebook's not playable, limited deployment's not playable at the moment. The only thing, remove up to 2 cells in any one Muslim country or randomly discard one of his cards. I think the removal of cells would be better. I mean, I could just go for Somalia to slow things down here. It's not a bad idea. I mean, I could go for Iraq as well. Like I say, because I've only got Pakistan at the moment, they need another 4 points rather than 3. So that's why I can sort of breathe a little bit. The situation was that they had 3 points already. Well, they actually had 5 points, but when they're sitting with 3 points and there's a threat to another 3 resource country, then that's more of a panic, isn't it? There's no new operations you can do. Now hold on, right? Remembering things here. What have I done? Remember when you change governance? Got to be on top of that, Grant. Yeah, like Hammer says, I think I probably am going to get caught with some of these new things when I just don't think about. I've not done the things before. But I mean, all we did there was roll War of Ideas in a non-Muslim country. Our prestige went up. Yeah, that doesn't do anything. But you got to remember every time a country improves its governance 1 level for whatever reason, that's removing awakening markers. Like, the only place that would affect right now is if we'd done... Well, actually it wouldn't, because Algeria, I think I spoke about this already, the first War of Ideas move that would make would be towards ally, which is an alignment move, which doesn't remove awakening markers. Okay, so hang on. So we've got a -1 to our War of Ideas now. So if I did pick up a 3 ops card and have a go at Somalia, I'd be rolling on a -1, wouldn't I? So I'd need a 6. Which is rubbish. I mean, okay, if I got a 5, that would place an aid marker, but... the other one, Central Asia up there, slightly different story, because we've got the -1 adjacent good ally. So that would balance the -1 and +1. So I need a 5 or a 6, and that would move that to ally. I think I might just play the Reaper card. In Somalia. I mean, he's going to prioritise Somalia still, even if it's got 2 cells over the Iraq's 3, because of the Baziz regime. So I'll just slow it down a little bit. just sort of feels weak, but I've not really got any other events that are going to do anything wonderful, so. This other card that's not playable at the moment is play if Iran as a sell. I mean, okay, there's possibilities Iran could get a sell, but I don't want to use. I don't think I've got a use for just 2 ops. Well, the other thing about Reaper is put in reserves, but it feels quite decent card, to remove 2 of these cells. I'm going to do that. So I'm going to play this for event, I think. So card number 128. The tablet's out of sleep. Right, okay, this is obviously 3 of these cards. Reaper. Reaper with 15 times the payload carrying capacity and 3 times the cruising speed of the Predator. The Reaper is changing the game for persistent aerial counterinsurgency. Yeah, I want to say the Predator removes 1 cell, and obviously this is getting to remove up to 2 cells. And that little added ability as well. Am I going to need this tablet again? No, because I think I'm just going to resolve these ports and probably take a break there, I think. What time is it? Yeah, I'd like to get the dogs out now. The weather's okay, so I'll probably just go on pause here once I've resolved these ports, I think. Right. Right, okay, I'm just going to go for this. I don't know. Yeah, I'm a bit struggling to find brilliant things to do. So remove up to 2 cells any one Muslim country is what the part of the card I'm going to use. And I'm going to remove 2 cells from Somalia, I think. I mean, Iraq is the higher resources. I mean, I could target that right now, but because of Bazzi's regime, he's going to prioritise Somalia, so I might as well just slowing it down, I think. I don't know. Dare say some would have a better thing to do there, but let's just go with that. Okay, so that's my 2 cards. That was played for event. That didn't get played for event, so these are both just discarded. Right, and that was me playing my 2 cards, so now we are in the resolve pots phase, and we've got 2 plots to resolve. Just give me a second. Right, let's resolve these 2 plots and then I'll take a wee break. I think that should be about the half-hour mark. So, unblock plots. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It's a Muslim country. So I'm going to reveal them one at a time. Like I say, just as well these being WMDs, so let's go for the first one. See what we get. It's a plot 3, so it's a big one. So that goes unblocked. So it's in a Muslim country, so +1 to funding, or if the country was good, it'd be +2. So I'm just going to stretch up. The funding's now up at 9. Right, and then next bullet is if country has troops, -1 to prestige. Country does have troops, so my prestige goes back down to 1, but yeah. And then third one is to improve its governance, but it's that poor, so it can't do any more, right? So that pot marker goes away, and that's going to, well, I'll get to that now. Let's resolve the other one. Oh, and it is a WMD, good. So, same again, their funding would go up by 1, even with the WMD. Funding +1, yeah. And then because this is a WMD, our prestige would go right down to 1. It's already at 1. And again, the governance, well, because it's a WMD, they would roll 3 dice to make the governance worse, but it's already at poor, it can't go beyond that. That gets removed from the game. Let's put that back there. And then this plot that we resolved goes up here and won't get used until the end of it won't get put back until the end of the turn phase there when it says return post available. Okay. So, okay, well, yeah. Well, we got rid of another WMD. So what? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's still 7 pots there, but yeah. Okay. Yeah, 25 minutes, but I'm as well getting the dogs taken out. I think I'm looking around there at the window and it looks a bit gloomy again. But I'll go for it now. Get out of the way. Pop to the shops and then a couple of other things to do, and then I should get back for a couple of parts. Well, that's only halfway through this part, isn't it? And I don't know, now I need to work on my prestige, I think. Get into medium. Then, at least then, we've got no negative modifiers to our War of Ideas rolls. So, I suppose that's all I can try and do. I've no cells beside troops, so I'm not going to gain prestige that way. So the only other way I can do it is what I've done that turn when trying to turn countries hard. However, there's less chance of going hard than soft, so yeah, I might need to. I don't know. Right, I'll go and pause. I'll be back in a bit. Cheers. Hi, all right, back to finish this part 30. What are we? 26 minutes. Okay, just a couple of comments. I don't have them up in front of me, so I'm just going to have to try and. Tim said, if you want to sort of play with that optional rule, which is really for 2 players, you could just what was this? It was about if you remove all the cells, just say that they're back in play. I mean, I could call it a win condition, I suppose. Notch up a point if I got all the cells back. I think the reason that's removed is, like I say, it's probably easier for me to do that and the bot's not going to worry about me doing that. So it might be an easy point to grab. The other thing he says, or you could just make it a little bit harder by saying you've only got 2 win conditions, they've got 3. I think that's probably how we'll look at it. But we'll see. If we get to a point where maybe we can chuck the last cell back out of country and count that as a point, I mean, I probably should decide now, but well, I'll just keep it open for now. It's not the important bit to me is not winning. It's just I'd like to play out the whole game. Then Hamler commented. I think he missed the transition between the awakening coming in. I can't remember what he said about that. I should really have the comment in front of me. Sorry, but one of the points he mentioned, I thought, okay, I'll need to go and look at that. The other thing he said was apparently that sequestration, which was the first card we drew, one of the most complex cards in the deck apparently, and I drew it as the first card. So, but it helped. However, he said, yeah, if I were you, I would go and get Axis of Evil, or probably any other card that's going to help. And I thought, Axis of Evil. That's not a card I recall coming across thinking that's going to help me out here, but I tell you what, he's spot on. I mean, yeah, he has really, because I'd be able to have done this and do the regime change all at once. And the reason I didn't find it was it's a jihadist card. And at first, you've got to understand, I mean, I was looking through that big pile at the back there. And yeah, I did it off camera. And at first I was looking at every card, looking at the jihadist cards and thinking, right, just that does do nothing for me, And I mean, don't get me wrong, the card that we're talking about to go and get this card, that sequestration, or whatever it is, it has a benefit on it. It's a jihadist card, but it has a benefit of me going and getting a card from the discard pile. So I should have clicked to that and thought, right, there's not going to be many of them, but there might be some cards that might do something that might help you in your situation, even if they're jihadists. And I should have took that on board and looked through every card, because this card, US discards any Iran, Hezbollah, or Jaish al-Mahdi cards from hand. I mean, I didn't have any of them in my hand anyway, but it'd been worth discarding them for the next part. The next part says US posture to hard. Then roll prestige. Well, at the time I wasn't fussed about rolling prestige anyway. In fact, no, we got from the weak card we got the posture roll went wrong, but the prestige roll went right. But for the fact, and I can't remember the timing of that, to be honest. I can't remember if the week was the week card played before all this nonsense. I can't remember now. I'm getting a bit confused to where everything was, and that I suppose that can sometimes be the problem when I rush ahead and people are commenting on the videos. The latest video that's out there, which is part 25 or 20, no, I don't even think it's 25, isn't it? Whatever one it is. And I'm up here in part 30, so I'm going to struggle to look back on things at times. But yes, indeed. I mean, the card that I was talking about looked the best was going to remove Islamist rule from Pakistan, but right at the last minute, I realised that wasn't going to save me if Iraq went Islamist rule because of the scoring points, the fact that Pakistan's only 2 resources and Iraq's 3. So yeah, that certainly would have been a card, and it just shows you need to look at every card. But anyhow, well, that's been and gone. But thanks for bringing it up. I'm more. The other thing you mentioned was remember to keep on top of things now because you're moving into these new rules, and yeah, I've got to stay switched on. Well, he gave me a fright at first because he says because if Iraq gets taken over, and I thought he was meaning from my point of view, like a regime change done something. But what he's meaning is Iraq going Islamist rule, and that is when converges. Each time a country becomes either good or Islamist rule for any reason, the controlling player, US if good, jihadist if Islamist rule, immediately rolls once in the random Muslim country to place an awakening or a reaction marker. So yeah, all these little things I need to watch. So when that happens, when governance changes, yeah, I mean it's all regarding but that one I need to watch. Convergence. So if we take a country to good, it's better. It's beneficial for us. But if a country goes to Islamist rule, there's something that needs to be done there as well. Attrition is falling, polarisation, so that's in the end of turn step. Other changes, the WMD, but I will need to stay switched on. New cells, that's the training camps. Then we've got the caliphate thing, but these will be down to events. Random Muslim countries, well that's what we're just talking about actually. There's a sort of table for that. I don't know if it's on the play raid or not. Yeah, I don't think I've missed anything, but yes, I will need to stay switched on. Okay, so 33 minutes. It's the jihadist player's turn. So when I was out with the dogs, I was trying to think about what I could maybe do, but there was nothing really sprung to mind. I don't know. The last thing we done was remove a couple of cells from Somalia just to slow things down a little bit. I think what I really need to do is work on my regime changes, but be aware of, well, I can be aware all day long about Iraq, but the fact if it stays adversary, there's absolutely nothing I can do about it. But you can with Somalia. So, and then the other thing that would be nice is to get my prestige out of the low sector into medium. That's an increase of 3 prestige. I have no cards in my hand that are going to help me with prestige. I've no countries where there's troops and cells, and although I've got 3 more cells on the troops, 3 more troops on the troops track, there's nowhere I can deploy them. Now, if I could get that like that, I then start doing some disrupting, but the War of Ideas roll here is a -1 still, and that means it's just a 6. I mean, a roll of 5 would turn it into a 4, which would give me the aid, but then I can put troops in Saudi Arabia, but that doesn't help me. The troops can't travel about or anything. I'm hard now, so I can't consider the withdraw option, which I don't know, that doesn't really help either, does it? I just don't feel like it's worth a War of Ideas roll if you need a 6. Don't get me wrong, a 5 would be an aid marker, so maybe. But it's like one card, it's a 3 ops card to try and do that. And then even if I get, say, a roll of 6 and we go like that, then I need another 3 ops card with a -1 die roll again. So until I get my... But no, hold on, Grant. You're saying once you get there, you can get the troops in there. This is a threatened country as well. Get a couple of troops in there and disrupt. But with only a 5 or 6 helping me out, there's no other modifiers, is there? 5 or 6 would be a success, but we've got -1. A 4 would give aid. There's no global war and terror relations penalty, but my prestige is sitting at -1. There's no adjacent good ally, and there's no aid marker. Yeah. Okay, right, well, it's not my turn. So maybe you should see what they're going to do before you think what you're going to do next. That might change things completely. Okay, let's do it. So back to Jihadist player, here we go. Remember they had 2 extra cards over me. Right, this is unassociated card event. So if they play this member, they'll get 2 reserves as well. So popular support, place 1 awakening or reaction marker. Clearly they're going to select the reaction marker in any country which already has one of the same type. Well, there's none. See, when we started the game, was there not should there not have been a reaction marker went somewhere as well as an awakening marker? I mean, maybe not, because the way we played it. I want to say talking again about the Late Night Gamers playthrough. Well, he didn't do a playthrough of this. He done a 1 video shot of the first couple of turns, or first turn, I think, playing the Awakening. So would it be, if I look to the normal Awakening scenario, because I'm sure he had a reaction marker in play, it's probably that he's played, he's set it up as the base Awakening 2010 scenario. That would be my guess, I think. This is it here. This is the first scenario. Does it tell us down here? 1 awakening in Algeria, Tunisia, where we've got, but there's not a reaction marker then. No, there's not. I'm sure he had a reaction marker in play as well. You know what? Maybe that's not the case, and maybe an event put a reaction marker in play while he was playing. Because you would think that would be the same setup as what we would have. I mean, there's other scenarios right enough that might have... Yeah, I mean, look at this one, for instance. What is it? Status of Forces Agreement. This one's got awakening, reaction, awakening. It's got them scattered about all over the place. So, okay, well, maybe it's a case. Well, this is going to be unplayable, I think. If I look up the event table for it, what is it? 227. No, it's not. It's not there. But remember, we know that if nothing happens from the event, then they won't play it. They'll play it for the ops, obviously. Place 1 awakening or 1 reaction marker in any country which already has one of the same type, and then another in an adjacent country. Well, yeah, I was going to say, well, actually, that is playable and it does something. Places another awakening marker in here. But, come on, Grant, that's not going to be, and I'm pretty sure that'll be covered in the bot rules too. I'm pretty sure it'll be here somewhere, and I don't even know why I need to look for this really, but When given an option to place or remove markers, the jihadist bot always places reaction markers. Alright, probably should show you here where we're looking. 12.3.6. The jihadist bot always places reaction markers, then removes awakening markers. When placing reaction markers or removing or replacing awakening or aid markers, the jihadist bot uses jihad column. Now that's not telling you. I'm sure there's going to be a bit here that if right, hang on. I'm still looking through the rules, trying to find a bit. I'm sure there's a bit that says that, you know, if the jihadist bot is going to do something, is going to move, I think governance, I think it's talking about if it's going to improve the governance, it won't do it. I want to say it's that. I just can't sort of find anything. But I mean, I think this is sort of common sense anyway. No, I mean, it's got to be in the solo side of things, this, isn't it? And unless it's in the old bot rules, which we shouldn't really be looking at, but it might be that that's where I've read what I'm talking about here. Well, right, I can't find what I'm looking for here. I'm sure I've read something though along the lines. You know, if the bot can only do something. Don't get me wrong. If this was, well, if it was a playable jihadist card that done something good for us and maybe didn't do anything for him, would you not have to look at that as well though? I mean, I'd like to think it would be in the event instructions. I mean, that card 227, there's nothing there. So, I mean, it is going to do something. Place one awakening or one reaction marker in any country which already has one of the same type, and then another in an adjacent country. I mean, what it would do is place an awakening marker there, and then place one in either Libya or Morocco or one of the Schengen countries. I don't know if they can. Is it not just Muslim countries they get then? I'm not sure, but that's the only thing that could happen here, and it's not beneficial for the bot. So I'm going to just say that this is unplayable. I think you have to. I mean, maybe it actually states in the rules that because of that it's unplayable. I mean, the bit that I'm reading, it just says if the card can do nothing. Well, that's not the case here, but it can do nothing beneficial for the bot. I mean, it would play the event, then put 2 ops in the reserves. No, come on, Grant. I don't know why you're hovering over this one. I found the bit that I was, it's under alignment and governance, which isn't what we're doing here. When an event instructs to shift alignment or alter governance, jihadist bot selects the target country using jihad column of the priorities table. Jihadist bot always shifts alignment towards adversary and worsens governance towards Islamist rule. If playing the event would shift alignment towards ally or improve governance, jihadist bot deems the event unplayable. So can we not just take the same? Well, why is it not written then? Why is it not? It may be mentioned in there. When placing reaction markers, awakening markers. I mean, we know it all place reacts. Well, it says in what order it does it. Jihadist bot always places reaction markers, then removes awakening markers. Yeah, I suppose if there's a choice of which one you place, which one you remove, that's fine here. Right, I'm going to overrule that. I mean, I don't think this is playable, but to be honest, it's not. doesn't look like it is in the rules regarding this. If it was saying I was to shift the governance towards ally, then that's said in the rules that that's not playable. But that actually, it doesn't say anything. Wait a minute. I sort of went. I don't know why I feel the need to be looking more at this. I went and looked in BGG. And the only thread that came up, there was a guy asking about, this was one of the cards, there was 3 other cards. He was a bit confused about, it's something along the lines of what we're looking at, really. The one that was highlighted was another one that would remove an awakening marker or would remove a reaction marker. But there wasn't any awakening markers, there was reaction markers, would it remove that? And I mean, it was highlighted, the rule was highlighted, one of the ones I just read, didn't I? That, this boat uses, it doesn't, when given an option to place or remove markers, Jad's bot always places reaction markers and removes awakening markers. When placing reaction markers or removing awakening or aid markers. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't say that. Was that a link that was brought up when he asked? Anyway, he was in the position where the card was going to remove a reaction marker. And he was wondering, like, it's playable. It's still playable. It's going to do something. So same here, like, I'm going to say that we can't play this. I mean, certainly if you were playing as a jihadist player right now, you would say, right, I'm not playing that card. I'll play it for the 2 ops. You know, I think we've got to step in there, even if it's not quite so clear in the rules. Although somebody might show me where it is, I'm going to say that that's not a playable event, and they're going to use it for 2 ops, so they're not going to get reserves of it either. But they would have been getting reserves, and I would have been getting another couple of awakening markers. So surely it's better they play it for the 2 ops and get Somalia going again. Okay, well, let me know your thoughts on that, and point me to the bit where it clearly says that that's unplayable because it says it right there on page whatever, which is quite possible. Right, so flowchart time. Is it a playable non-use event? No. Is Major Jihad success at poor possible? No. Is funding tight? No. Is there a selling good or firm news on where Jihad success possible? No. Is there a poor moves on 1 to 4 more cells and troops and militia where Jihad success possible? Yes. Iraq and Somalia. We find the priority, it doesn't matter which one it is. It doesn't have a cell adjacent. So no. Is funding moderate? No. Is there cell available? Yes. Recruit. Right. So he's got 2 ops. Oh, right, well, I know we shouldn't really need to come through it again, but pyramids on 1 to 4, right, okay, so it's Iraq or Somalia. And then, not Islamic rule, Pakistan, Baziz regime, which is Somalia. So nothing changed. I suppose you should be, maybe I don't need to go through it every single time, maybe as long as I check the flowchart myself and then say, right, it's Somalia again, maybe you'd be good with that. But you never know, one little thing changes and then, you know, but I could probably do that without showing the flowchart. What are we doing? We're rolling dice. Right, so we're rolling, they've got 2 ops, there's 3 cells on the track, so they can roll the 2. They've got 2 cells already there. It's a poor country, so they're going to recruit on a roll of 1 to 3. Right, so 1 success, 1 failure. Not too bad then. Well, certainly 2 successes would have been worse. So 1 cell off the track into Somalia. That's them up to 3. That's it. They used the 2 ops. They didn't play that event, so they're not getting reserves. That was our first card play, wasn't it? Yeah. So second card, here we go. Right, it's another unassociated event, Dara. So this is split in 2 halves. Okay, So it's split in two halves, but the text at the very top bit there is relevant to both halves, I believe. If Syria not Islamist rule, test and where's Syria? Oh, Syria has already been tested. It's a poor adversary. If it's not Islamist rule, test. So if it was Islamist rule, would this be unplayable? Just try to think of the way that's worded. Right, what is it going to do if jihadists? If jihadists worsen governance one level, not to Islamist rule, and place one reaction marker there. Yeah, well, I've just said that it's poor adversary. So it can't worsen its governance, however, it can place a reaction marker there. So is that not good enough, Grant? Card 220. Nothing on it. If Syria not Islamist rule, test and. Yeah, I suppose that's fair. So if it was Islamist rule, I assume it would just be this would not be playable. Or would he still put a reaction marker in there? I mean, the whole point of reaction markers is for die rolls, but I mean, it would be a reaction marker going in the country. Or hang on though, because you don't place reaction markers and awakening markers go away when it's at Islamist rule, don't they? So I don't think I think what that's meaning, I mean maybe it's just me the way I'm reading it, is if Syria was Islamist rule right now, I think this would be unplayable. Because even if you're playing it as the US, if it was Islamist rule, yeah, I think that's the case. If anybody wants to leave a comment on that, the thing is, it's not Islamist rule. I don't need to test it's already been tested. It's poor adversary. So if jihadists worsen governance one level, can't do that because it's not to Islamist rule, and place one reaction marker there. Well, that is playable then. Poor adversary, one reaction marker. Right, let's find this. Yeah, it's annoying they're on my tablet, isn't it? It's over at the computer now as well. Well, I did say I was going to read them, so hang on. Yeah, it would be better if I could print them out. It's probably a dozen pages or so, and that would be better. So I'll maybe try and get around to that. I probably won't. But anyway, so card 220, Dara. The arrest of 15 children protesters in Dara is what really inflamed the Arab Spring movement against the Ba'athist regime in Syria, quickly leading to civil war. Card 234. So okay. Right. So yeah, I mean, I still see that as being playable. The first part, it can't worsen the governance, but it can place a reaction marker there. So a playable event. Remember, it's going to get the 2 ops in reserves as well. So place a reaction marker in Syria. Let me just have a little glance at. So reactions -1. Right, I'm meant to be keeping these on the right then, I'm gonna just fits in there. Right, hang on. Right, so just wanted to double check about placing awakening reaction markers. 11.14 here gives you some restrictions. So regardless of how a card event is worded, this rule supersedes 6.2.2. Awakening right, okay. Regardless of how a card event is worded. 6.2.2, right, what is that reference? I mean, I'm just jumping in there a bit, so 6.2.2 is whenever event text conflicts with game rules, the event governs, follow the event text instead of any conflicting rules. What was it saying? Regardless of how a card event is worded. Okay. Anyway, what is the rule? The rule is awakening reaction markers may not be placed in a non-Muslim country, or a country in civil war, or a country with good governance, or a country with Islamist rule. So it tells you there about it not being with Islamist rule. It may be placed in a regime change country. And you can have as many of these markers in there as you like. Now, yeah, something I just thought about. Well, I think that's a play, okay? So that card did do something. That's all it's done. However, it was an unassociated event. So they're also going to get 2 reserves. That's our 2 card plays for the turn. So this was played for event. Yeah, on either side. Even though it didn't worsen governance. And then this other card just goes discard. So it's in the discard pile, and Dara is getting removed. Okay, yeah, I was thinking, obviously placing awakening markers is good. That can give you, that gives you a +1 to war of ideas, but I've nothing. I've got Facebook, but I've no what is it? Smartphones. So you need smartphones first. Place smartphones is in effect. Place 1 awakening marker up to 3 countries that already have an awakening marker in or adjacent to that country. So could you tag them, daisy chain them along with that? Not so sure about that, because we did not all have to be targeted first. I would have thought so. The way this game plays, it seems you would have to select every country first, and what I mean by that is there's the awakening marker there. So, and up to 3 countries that already have an awakening marker in or adjacent to that country. Now, I couldn't sort of say, well, I'll put 1 in there, and then I'll put 1 in there because that's adjacent. Could I? I mean, maybe you could. Might be a question that's out there, but we don't have smartphones, so it's not playable, and that's the only card I think. That other one, Bloody Thursday, removes an awakening marker, which, to be honest, that event might have to trigger. Okay, back to my turn, right, and just looking at my cards again, this is still unplayable, so probably should get this out of the way. This is playable, and this is playable. Okay, so what can we do? What do we want to do? We want to get our prestige up. Do we want to take a chance and go for a War of Ideas roll here with a -1 modifier? I mean, even if we get a 5 out of it, it's going to place an aid marker, which would help. Or should I just be looking to try and bump my prestige up? Well, the only way I can do that is by targeting non-Muslim countries. That's a 5 or a 6 roll as well to get hard. And if it shares the same posture as the US, we get a bump to our prestige. Ugh, man, that's horrible. Yeah, limited deployment. That needs a country in civil war, which we're not going to that yet. I don't know. So, shall we try for Somalia? Maybe give it one shot. There's still 2 cells on the track, so, I mean, if I was... We've got 3 troops on our track. If I was able to do it, if I rolled a 6, we go like that, and then I could play another card to put some troops in there. The thing is, do I want to tempt the bot into going into Iraq? Not really. So I sort of just want to stall here, don't I? So yeah, I thing is, it's cost 3 ops to put, and I could put up to 3 troops in. Well, while he's got 3 cells, I could put 2 troops in. And 2's all you need to do the disrupt in. Yeah, okay. And they've still got 1 to 4 more cells and troops. And because it's besieged regime, they're still going to target that before they're going to target Iraq. I mean, I know that's a little bit gamey thinking that way, but well, you've got to start thinking that way, I suppose. Or, as I very well saying, you've got to start thinking that way. You can't help but think that way, can you? It's just how it is. Well, I'll give it one shot. It just feels sort of rubbish, doesn't it? I'm caught between a rock and a hard place, as they say. Because then, if I go for one of the non-Muslim countries for posture change, I need a 5 or a 6, and then I'll get that if I get the 5 or 6. Well, I'm still in low. Then I need to do it again. Then I need to do it again. So I need to get 3 of them. Now, the good thing about them is they're countries with good governance or maybe fair, so I'm not going to need high ops cards to do that. But the chances of rolling 5s and 6s. But this one's even harder, because the only way I'm getting to go like that right now is if I roll a 6. Now, if I roll a 5, then get an 8 in there, which then tempts me to roll again, do it again, my second card, needing a 5 or a 6. And I probably would go for that. I think we need new cards. We just need to try. And remember, if Somalia drops to Islamist rule, they still need to do Iraq, but then it's panic stations, because Iraq's adversary. Right, I'm going to go for that. I'm going to give it a shot. Yeah. Now, you wanted to get rid of that safeguards thing. That's only 2 ops. I'd rather... Yeah, I'm going to use Facebook. Right, I'm going to play this for the ops, so not played for event. 3 ops. It's a US card. I'm going to attempt a war of ideas in Somalia. Yeah, I mean, I know it feels rubbish, but... So we're attempting to shift alignment because it's neutral. Just confirming we can target a neutral or ally Muslim country. It's not regime change. We're going to roll to move its alignment from neutral to ally. If we fail by 1 pip, we get to place aid. So modifiers are, we need a 5 or 6 to succeed, a 4 for aid. But our modifiers are, we're not attempting to shift to good. We're no global war and terror relations penalty. We do, however, have a -1 for prestige. There's no aid marker. There's no adjacent good ally. So we've got a -1 to this roll. Oh, just do it, Grant. Do it quickly before you change your mind. Right, we need a 6. Oh my. Okay. I'm just struggling. Yeah, because even testing one of these non-Muslim countries, like I've just said, I need to do it 3 times before that -1 goes away. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to try this again. I'm going to play this for 3 ops. Play a few as hard, which we are, but the other stuff, it needs to be a country in civil war. I mean, I did say I was going to try and leave that. Yeah, no, I'm just going to play it. Right, so I'm playing that for the 3 ops again. We're going to roll this dice and get the opposite of a 1. Okay, here we go. Yes! How about that? Wow. Okay. Oh, it's my second card play though as well. Right, so War of Ideas Somalia succeeds. We got a 6 with a -1, and it's a 5 or 6 to success. So we shift that to ally. Let's hope nothing. Oh man. See if they put their 2 cells down there and do a major jihad with our 2 cards, I'm going to be raging. That would be so unfair. And they've got a Busy's regime, so they're going to be trying to do that. Okay. Well, yeah, we needed that on the first die roll, but come on, Grant. Rolling a 6 on a d6 when you need it, you've got to have some leeway to failure. Right, they 2 cards were not played for event, so just go in the discard pile. Well, they were going there anyway. Right, 1 hour and 5 minutes, so yeah, I should probably stop there. Okay, I'm going to just... no, I think I will actually copy it across first, will I? What time is it? No, I think I'm just going to kick on and keep going. But cut this part and then come back with the next part. So I'll be back shortly. Cheers.